Let's get ready to rumble!
Sports Extra is bringing you the hottest sports updates starting now in 3, 2, 1. What is good, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Sports Extra, the best sports talk show that Indiana State University can provide all of your ears.
Just a fact.
Just a fact. Today, as always, it's me, Coby Clark, and then over there, straight ahead, who we got? Who we got here with us today?
Man, we got Joseph the Lawnmower, and to my right, who we got? Who that over there?
You know, Ralph Counts. You know who it is over here.
Ralph, you got a nickname?
Not yet. Still thinking of one.
Ralph Council. I definitely think you could do something with the last name there, play around with that a little bit.
The councilman.
Ooh, Ralph the Councilman Council. Go crazy.
Sounds like a 1930s gangster. I like it.
I love it. Nah, respect. So, guys, as always, before we get into anything sports related, I gotta know, as a human being, how are you guys feeling? How are you doing? Just checking in on you guys. Care about you guys a lot.
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I mean, I had most of my exams last week.
Right on.
Got the grades back for pretty much all of them except for one, and we did pretty good, man. We did pretty good. A couple of A's in the books, so
We love to hear it.
you know, we're really good, man. We're really good.
We're proud of you, Joe.
Oh, thank you.
Ralph, what's it like over there in Ralph Land?
You know, just taking it day by day. You know, class and everything. Just making sure all my class stuff is set. Just taking it a day at a time, per usual. Just
Facts.
living life.
Yes, sir.
Understandable.
Nothing like Ralph. That's the goal.
Living like Ralph. Living like Larry, living like Ralph. That's what I want to do. I just want to chill.
How you doing, Coby?
Bro, I'm doing pretty good. Dude, I'm so happy the Saints finally got that dub yesterday.
Crazy.
Oh, my
Man,
God.
Hill went crazy. We're not gonna get too much into it, but Hill went crazy.
Yeah, we're not going to do the whole spill like we do on Uncut, but, I mean, just know we're back. We're back, baby.
All right, that's crazy.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, but for real, I'm doing all right. I mean, not a whole lot I could be complaining about. I love my life. I love what I get to do. Can't complain. I got a lot of good people around me. My girl, the family, you know, I'm just chilling. Passed that final that I took last
There you
week.
go.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Done with
Yes,
that class.
sir.
Get it, man.
So-
love to hear it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, let's get to the rundown today. If you follow us on Twitter, and if you're not, you should be, at WZIS-FM, I gave you guys the rundown what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be the Indiana State versus the North Dakota State thoughts and reactions, as my man Ralph over there was the color commentator and saw it all live and in person. We're going to get his analysis and his takes on it, just as myself and Joe. And then we're going to talk about the Indianapolis Colts and Denver Broncos football game that happened, if you want to call it that.
Fair.
A lot of thoughts to take away. Some say that the game was set back. Maybe that was just me.
Based on that QB performance. Performances. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Plural.
Performances.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that, of course. And then finally, we're going to recap it with one of the best things that I know Joe's happy about. I know I'm happy about. I'm pretty sure Ralph, I know you're a Lakers fan and all, but we're happy to have you along for the ride. The Indiana Pacers 2022-2023 season preview.
Let's go.
There's a lot of new faces on this team from just a year ago. There's a lot of excitement and a lot of losing that we're holding on for. It's definitely going to happen.
It's going to be an
So,
exciting season.
absolutely. I cannot say it enough. Ralph, let me get your thoughts first. Let me set the groundwork for you. Saturday, the number 1 ranked FCS North Dakota State Bison come to Memorial Stadium in Terre Haute to take on the 1-3 Indiana State Sycamores. Not a whole lot that the Sycamores fans were expecting out of this game. And I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This team has just not been playing to the best of their abilities. You know, they still lost this game. 31-26 was the final score. New quarterback starting this week, Kade Chambers taking over for the recent starter, Gavin Screws. I think that we may have just found an answer at quarterback because Kade Chambers, he might have that dog in him. I'm not gonna say it
He played
that
a
much.
really good game. 12 for 26, almost 50% with his passing, you know. That was really good. 2 touchdowns, and he also threw in a rushing touchdown in there. So, you know, he really did. He did a lot to try to help get this team that W for real.
Absolutely. Joe, I know you want to talk about this. This game was amazing. I mean, between Kade, between Dinka, Dante Hendricks, I mean, this group showed a lot of fight and potential.
Don't forget about that defense, man. That defense played amazing.
I almost forgot. Rylan Cole, he was named the Missouri Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Week for the second time this season.
Snap.
Dog.
Man, he had a lot of tackles.
Yeah, for sure.
19.
When I say, because I came into the office around the time of the start of the game, mainly, you know, do some stuff around the station and stuff. Again, we always have something moving.
Joe
and
putting in
shaking,
that extra work.
you know,
Respect.
shaking here at the station and stuff. And, you know, of course, I'm checking in on my boy, you know, who's in the booth. Shout out Blake for doing the board out for that game. And I was just, you know, stopping by and, you know, talking to him. We had a couple of problems in the booth, but, you know, so I sat in here for a little bit just to kind of like see, and we had the game pulled up. We were just seeing and just watching the game a little bit. And when I say I progressively got more and more excited as the game went on, I was screaming in this booth, Coby Clark.
Oh, my.
I was screaming.
That's a true fan.
Yeah, like
Oh, I heard. Blake said you was going nuts.
I was going nuts, bro. Like, because of course, like, I'm normally a pretty chill, laid back individual, but when it comes to like sports in general, like, I just, you know, just something come out of me.
Absolutely.
Like, it's like the Holy Spirit, but with sports ball. You feel me?
Respect.
And so, like, again, this game was absolutely crazy. I'm on the motorcade when it comes to Kade Chambers. Like, he's you know, he looked so nice out there, like so nice out there. When it comes to poise, it looks like this wasn't even his first start in a minute. It's like this is just going to be like another week for him, another day in the office. And, you know, of course, I have to shout out my man, Justin Dinka. Justin Dinka went crazy. Obviously, we saw that against the Montana game, and we saw it again today, but pulling up with 156 yards.
82-yard touchdown.
Respect.
Crazy.
Like, we had some of the best plays. I feel like 4 out of the top 5 best offensive plays for Indiana State came in this game alone.
Absolutely.
Like,
Hey, that catch that Dante Hendricks had too on the sideline where he fell.
Saw that, man.
Oh,
Oh, man.
that is top.
Give it to
10.
me.
Top 10.
Dante-
Somebody should have put that on ESPN. It was
like,
a top 10.
dude,
I hope Dante, I'm going to call it now. Dante's league bound.
man,
I think he's- I think
believe
he's
it.
that good.
Bro, I believe it. I was
Absolutely. I
I
don't
was
think
at
that's a
the
hot
game
take.
and I was like, okay, I see you. Like the first game, I was like, oh, I see you, Dante. I see you, number 8. He made a couple more catches. Then he had that first touchdown. I was like, okay, I see you. I see you. Then he got that second one. I was like, yeah, he cooking with hot grease right now, boys. He
Coby
cooking
Clark.
with hot grease.
What's up?
what did Dante Hendricks say in that one interview that you had, talking about where he could play?
He could play at all positions, and he could play at any team. He could play for any team in the country.
In the country, and he can. Like, he didn't have any touchdowns leading up to this game. Honestly, not the fault of his own, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But, like, you know, actually having, like, offensive weapons other than himself just led the defense to him just being, quite literally a little bit more wide open, where he got those one-on-ones just from, like, you know, a play every once in a while. And every single time he was open and every single time that ball was in the air, he caught it, it felt like.
Yes.
Man, you should have seen that play, man. He hit that cornerback from North Dakota. He hit him with a double move, and I mean that cornerback held him for about 15 yards, like just holding on to his jersey while the ball in the air. My man Dante just running. He looking for the ball. He can't even look for the ball. The man had his jersey so bad. I said that's the easiest calls the refs had all game.
All game, bro. I'm telling you, like, just Dante Hendricks is that good. And so once you have other offensive weapons on the field, like, he just has the ability to make plays. Obviously, that catch was absolutely astounding.
Absolutely.
Blake was in the room with me when we saw that in person, like, live. And, like, the amount of excitement, because, like, initially I'm always, like super pessimistic whenever, like, a big play happens. I'm like, he did not catch that.
Oh, my.
He didn't catch
I'm there
that.
with you.
You know what I mean? And I was like, it went from, like, pessimism to pure optimism, like, looking at the ref. He better not call this back. Like, oh, my God.
They was about to at first, too.
They
They
was
was about to call it incomplete. I was
about to be mad. I
was in the booth, like, I was up there calling him, like, wait a minute. I know y'all going to call that a catch.
Ain't no way.
I have to add, the fact that we're getting so excited and we lost. No. That's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Facts.
I don't know if it's the defense or if it's the Kade acquisition, because I'm giving the key to Kade and I ain't looking back. Because Kade,
Oh man, take the keys and you go wherever you want, young man.
sir, you can take my daughter out. Just be back by midnight. That's all I'm saying.
Let's slow it down a little bit, brother.
Sorry.
Slow it down.
Sorry.
I'm with it. Though. I like the energy. I like the energy.
I like the analogy. Nah, but for real, I think Kade just brought something that this team has been missing all season long. I mean, due in part, don't get me wrong, Gavin had his moments, but we have not been this excited over a game. We were leading at one point 13-3 against the number 1 FCS team in the nation. That's huge. We would never, I personally don't know if we would have been there with Gavin, but the fact that Kade Chambers can come into his first ever Division I football game starting on a Saturday at 1 o'clock, and he proved to everyone that he can play with the best of them.
It's just a fact. It's just a fact. And again, we ranting and raving about the offense of Indiana State. But let's just talk about the defense for a second.
We have to.
Let
me hear it.
This defense looks organized, and it's like we kind of been saying, I know you and me, Coby, have been talking about the effect that an offense has on the defense when it comes to even from an exhaustion standpoint and a mentality standpoint.
Facts.
It is huge, and it speaks volumes. So when the offense is working like this, when the defense doesn't have to be on the field all the time, and when the offense, has the ability to score to where the defense doesn't have to be even if I get a stop here, it's not like it's going to amount to anything because our offense is trash. It's absolutely astounding how much that affects the defense. So with an energized Brad Wilson defense, we can hold, like I said, we can hold a team like, North Dakota State, back enough to where we can actually put up a decent offensive performance. That is huge. That is huge, Coby Clark.
I think that's one thing that we really were missing this year. I mean, due in part to what the defense has been bringing. The offense has had their struggles, but when your defense is on, the offense is as well. No matter how you want to look at it, defense has to be playing great so the offense can do their thing on the field and not have to worry about the score. And I think with the factor of the defense being so good now, even though we did lose, I know we lost, but at the same time, everyone just played out of their minds this weekend.
Facts.
I mean,
for sure.
You put them up against really any other team. You could put them against Montana. Maybe they come out of that with a dub. But the fact that they got the number 1 team down to the wire in a losing effort, respect to them. Respect.
The fact that it literally only came down to an onside kick. It came down to an onside kick.
I'm telling you, man.
That we had a chance to get that onside kick. I feel like.
How close was it?
It was pretty close. He had just grabbed. If he wouldn't have grabbed the ball and fell the way he did, somebody could have hit him and knocked that ball loose.
For sure. There was definitely a chance there, and it was because me and Ralph were talking about it before. When I say 2-3 mistakes could have changed the outcome of this game for Indiana State, that is astounding when you're talking about a team as good as North Dakota State. And again, North Dakota, they might just had an off day. There's also a possibility of that, where just overall they had just maybe an off day. It's possible.
I think we played that good.
I think we played that good too, but just keeping it down to earth like I normally do. It's just it's possible that worst case scenario they just had a really off day. Call of Duty had a 2-time experience weekend, and all the members of North Dakota was playing on the game, and then they just retired going into the game. And that's possible. But even with that, I feel like this kind of, especially the competition going forward, this level of play from Indiana State could speak bounds when it comes to further along in the season and for the future of Indiana State.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean,
this could be a big momentum push for them right here. Mm-hmm. At least finish the season off and get a couple wins to finish the season off, because I don't remember the rest of the schedule, but there's definitely not going to be a team that's as good as North Dakota State.
There's not. There's going to be teams close. I mean, right after we have Youngstown State University, which is definitely not.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not no slouch.
And then we have Illinois State for homecoming. Shout out homecoming. I'll be on the call. Blake will be on the call. Be there.
Shout out, my dad's getting married that day.
Yeah, shout out Coby Carr's father. And then, after that, I feel like our next toughest opponent is going to be South Dakota State. And having 2 games in this, stretch, if Indiana State can pull out those 2 games playing to a similar caliber as they did this past Saturday, I can feel like we can win, possibly, challenge South Dakota State, which, again, is a Dakota in the Missouri Valley Conference, so that means that they're really good at football. We could challenge them to where we could even possibly pull out a win. That would be huge. But, even just being competitive in that type of game would be big for the Sycamores.
I think whichever way you want to look at it, whether it be Ryland Cole, whether it be Cone, Hunter, or Joffrey Brown, this whole defense has really been coming together, and they've had some real tough competition over the span of the beginning. I mean, when you get your first win of the year against North Alabama, that brings so much positivity, and the amount of confidence can soar you. I mean, in retrospect, 5 weeks later, here we are, still their last and only win. But, you go up against a tough Big Ten Purdue team. You get spin it whichever way you want to, but that's Purdue. They're such a good quality team in a great program. It's no wonder. And then, maybe a couple of wins. Maybe should have beat Northern Iowa. Montana was a pretty good. They're in top 2. We've played number 2 and number 1 now, and we impressed against number 1. And I think next week, Youngstown State, give me the dub. I think this team has what it takes. This team's going to have to come rally around Kade Chambers, rally around what their defense is bringing them. Keep feeding Dinka. And also shout out Dante Hendricks because he was one of the only players. He's called Mr. 2000 because he became the 4th Sycamore to eclipse 2,000 career receiving yards with his first catch of the day also on an 11-yard catch. So,
he's definitely going into the Sycamores Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
I want to see him. I want to see him be another Sycamore in the league.
For sure. He has that talent. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He has that talent. Where he gets drafted is what it is, but whatever team he gets taken to, he's going to bring something to that team.
They're getting the gym. Whatever team he goes to.
If anyone's listening, you gotta know Dante Hendricks. He will help your team in any way, receiving, whether it be special teams, you name it. He will bring it. He is so talented.
Put it down, man. Write it on it, man. Just ink it, man.
I need to get his autograph before he leaves.
I swear, I'm telling you.
That's the scary thing. When he leaves, it's gonna be kind of sad. He brings a lot to this Sycamore team.
Let's not think about that.
Let's think about it. Let's think about next week. Youngstown State on the road. No one will be on the call for that, but you can watch on ESPN3 or somewhere and catch it. Live updates. So, my last thoughts about this squad of the Indiana State football team, get ready because I think they found what works, and they're going to turn that notch all the way up and just move it forward with it all. Kade Chambers the answer, baby. So, you guys got any more thoughts on this before we head into the next subject?
No, sir.
No, sir. Nope. Sounds good with me, man. We're going to take a quick 30-second break on the radio side. And if you're watching on Twitch, shout out to you. We appreciate the love and the support. We're going to take a quick 30-second break, and we're going to come back and talk about the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to talk about a lot of highs, and now we're going to go to lows with this game. Even in a, it's funny. We're going to be we talk so high in a losing effort, and now we're going to be talking so low in a winning effort.
We'll get to it, man.
Makes
There's
sense.
a lot to break down.
Sports, I love it. We'll be right back if you're listening to Z90.7 WZIS.
Hey, Dad, how do you throw a curveball? How do you build a fort? How do refrigerators run? How do fish learn how to swim?
Kids ask a lot of questions,
How high can you jump?
but you don't have to know every answer.
How many phone numbers are there?
Because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
How do cell phones work?
There are thousands of children in foster care who don't need every question answered.
What's electricity?
They just need you.
What's the moon made of?
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're doing your homework, whether you're in the comments, in your apartment, or in the car, listening or watching us, what's up? Sports Extra, please join us. We do such a good job, I think, on all these shows, and we really put in a lot of work. We got IBS submissions coming up. Me and my boy Joseph have been working hard on that side of everything. So, we got to keep working to it. We got to keep going. So, but hey, let's talk about it. The Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos, the the football game that the whole world unfortunately heard about. Not to sugarcoat, but this game was not good. It was on Thursday Night Football. The Indianapolis Colts traveled to Denver to take on the Broncos in Mile High. It was a kicker battle, for sure. A lot of offensive struggles between both Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson. It doesn't help that Jonathan Taylor wasn't in there for the Colts, and unfortunately, their starting running back, Javonte Williams, went out, and he's out for the season due to a torn ACL. So when you hear both your quarterbacks not doing the best that they can be, and both starting running backs are out, the offense is going to take a toll. And we saw that a lot. And the kickers, it was a kicking battle for sure, as the Colts kicker, Chase McLaughlin, he went 4 for 4. He won the kicking battle when Denver's Brandon McManus completed 3 of his 4 kicks, and the Colts ended up winning in overtime. A lot of defense was pretty much the successors in this one. Offense, not a whole lot to be said, but the defense was the answer for both squads. And I mean, let me hear you guys' thoughts. The Colts win 12-9. Joseph, I'll start with you. What are these Indianapolis Colts doing? What are the fans thinking?
Well, for me, a pessimistic Colts fan. So
Obviously.
I don't think this is absolutely as atrocious as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you win the game. That's fine. That's the ultimate goal, however. But when you're looking at somebody who's like, Jonathan Taylor, him being out, and then people like, who else on the, Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce had a really good day, and then a lot of individuals like that on the offense that, are that like, big time, big money type players who are like getting paid like it too now.
Facts.
You have to have a better start than what you did going into this game. Mm-hmm. But, again, having, Matt Ryan, barely complete 50% of his passes, 2 interceptions is absolutely preposterous. Matt Ryan just doesn't look like he's comfortable. He just doesn't look. I don't know if there's like, because sometimes with situations like this, like we'll see like after, the season ends or like after some type of major event within the organization, they'll be like, oh, this player had some type of injury he was actually battling, throughout this entire time, which I can 100% see because there's no reason for like Matt Ryan to be so immobile.
Oh, man.
I get he's old. I get it. I swear I do. But, like, it's just like whenever
It's
the
like
pocket collapses a little bit, it's just rash.
He can't run from a turtle, man.
Man, he can't, like, bro. He, like, whenever somebody, like, penetrates the, offensive line, he's like a parked car. Like, he just can't. He's not going to go nowhere.
Is it a time issue? Is it Matt Ryan not having enough time, or is he just not finding the open receivers? Are his receivers having a tough time getting open? What is it?
I mean, like, again, shout out to the Broncos defense. The Broncos secondary is actually pretty nice.
Facts.
They did a pretty good job at, hurrying the quarterback and stuff. But even if you had a semi-mobile quarterback, a lot of these issues wouldn't be like, that, detrimental.
A semi-mobile quarterback at least could have bought you a little time to get a dunk pass off or anything.
Yeah,
I agree.
I was watching, like, I went back and I rewatched some of the clips. It just looked like he was running in sand, and what's it called? Quicksand. Like, he just could not get his feet off the ground.
Man. It is actually preposterous. And so, like, again, with the Colts, shout out Stephon Gilmore, obviously, made the play that won.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic possession in there. Obviously, I was kind of worried because, Shaq Leonard was not playing this game. Kind of like what Zach said, I believe it was on Uncut where, like, Shaq Leonard just kind of sounds like a myth now. Like, it feels like a myth and stuff.
Where is he?
Concussion, and then he just, like, he's just gone. He's
Yeah.
just like a Sasquatch at this point. But, yeah, at least, like, the defense found an identity. They found a way to, like, even though the offense wasn't going, they still, were able to pull out some really big defensive stops and
Right.
stuff. So, again, overall, the Colts, you won, but, there's just so many issues you have to address with this team.
I don't think I've ever would have said this, but the Colts are a defensive team. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's so disrespectful. That's crazy.
It's insane, but it's a fact, and you can kind of tell from the way they've been playing. You said Stephon Gilmore with an interception. Shout out Rodney Thomas, who also came down with an interception on Russ. Mm-hmm. Russ only completed 21 of his 39 attempts for 275 or 74 yards. So this Denver team, I mean, we could talk about the Colts all day, but something's off with Russell
Yeah,
Wilson.
we gotta talk about this. Broncos
Something's a
team.
little
We had, I
weird.
mean, so many people had so many high expectations for them when they got Russell Wilson. They thought they was gonna be able to get the ball to the weapons like Jerry Jeudy, and it's just not working out like that. I mean, of course he's going to get them the ball, at least try to get them the ball, but like as a team right now, it's not looking good for the Broncos right now, man.
What's
And-
up with that?
And I
man?
don't want to. I feel like Russell Wilson can pull it through, like throughout the season. Like the more games come, the more he get comfortable. But right now, Russell Wilson is not looking like Russell Wilson of the old. So
I can agree with that. It's just like for me, this Denver Broncos team is stepping on their feet a lot. And before this game, you know, when me, you, and Zach were talking about it, a lot of the, you know, pretty much now all of the wins that the Colts have are, you know, to teams that just stepped on their own feet. And so that's what the Broncos did. They stepped on their own feet. And I just can't help but, you know, think when I watch Russell Wilson, how much of this is Russell Wilson compared to how much of it is the play calling itself.
Nathaniel Hackett, first-year head coach.
Yeah,
He is not giving me good head coaching vibes right now.
I agree.
Like,
I can see that. He's definitely made a lot of mistakes this season.
I mean, Russell Wilson coming from Seattle to Denver looks like a complete different player. It's insane, the turnaround.
Exactly, and it's like
It's not good either.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good turnaround right now. And it's just like, it was just like to see how fast it happened. Like,
it's insane.
it was like, it's been an immediate drop. Like, just looking at his stats, even though he didn't play the whole season in 2021, he had 3,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 6 picks. And even though this is the, 5 games? This is the 5th game of the season?
Yeah,
He has 4 touchdowns and 3 picks right now with 1,254
Wow.
yards.
it's
Like,
ridiculous.
shout out. Geno Smith is a better quarterback
him.
than Russell Wilson.
Right now, he's him, and I
All
don't-
time, no, but obviously,
I was finna
yes,
say.
this season.
I completely agree. It's like one, just shout out to all the people who like find a lot of success like after what people kind of determine to be their prime. I love
Facts.
stories like that. Like, you know, a player that's like was written off and, you know, but, you know, like Geno Smith said, they didn't write back. And
Exactly.
Then they just kept after it and then just continued to follow their passion.
You know who's a good example of that in basketball terms? Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry's a really good example. Who? Giannis is low-key like an old example.
I wouldn't
as
say
well,
Giannis.
because I feel like he wasn't like, you know,
Nobody was checking for Giannis, man.
that's true. That's true.
Let's be
That's
for
true.
real.
Lowry
man.
was like,
when he first came in the league and he was a little skinny, scrawny
little
dude.
dude with a
Nobody was
big
checking for
head.
Giannis. He went from that little scrawny dude in Milwaukee. Now he's that guy.
He's a
And,
deer,
people
straight
are,
up.
People are scared. People are scared of Giannis. Man.
Lowry
Let's be
went
for real.
from Houston and Memphis, and then he finally found a home in Toronto where he ended up winning a NBA Finals championship, and he became a multiple-time All-Star and a great point guard in the Eastern Conference for years. I mean, he still is, even with Miami, in my opinion. So, but back to the topic at hand. I mean, with the fact that Russell Wilson has, I mean, we could talk about Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, I mean, he wasn't doing the best the last couple of years with Atlanta. I mean, you're not expecting Matt Ryan to be the Matt Ryan of his MVP season and the Super Bowl run. You're really expecting Matt Ryan to be sort of what a game manager at the position. You're not expecting him to really go off for 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and all that. You want him to manage the game as the quarterback and let Jonathan Taylor and let your O-line facilitate
First
what
of
needs to be
all,
done.
They're not even giving Jonathan Taylor the ball enough to me, in my opinion.
He's really not. And then he got
I'm
hurt.
not just saying that because he's on my fantasy team.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Joe, who did you lose to? Tanner?
So okay.
I almost put my mic.
Don't. Okay. I will get violent in this booth.
What'd he say?
So fast.
What'd he say?
Don't fight me.
I beat Ralph.
Okay. See what had happened was.
We're about to make Joe upset.
Like one, he had like 3 people just go ballistic for no reason. For no reason. The tight end for the Detroit Lions, I forget his name.
TJ Hawkinson.
Hawkinson, he went crazy. And then everybody else on my team just was like, This is our day off. We just gonna look around at the ball. We just gonna,
It's okay,
I ain't
bro.
feeling it. You
It's
know
okay.
what I
We'll
mean?
give you slander, but
Ain't
you
that
have
crazy?
to own it.
Ain't that crazy? No, I'm not gonna own it because
you
it's
have
not
to.
my fault. Listen, I talked to these people.
You talked to TJ Hawkinson.
I talked to these people. I sent them a DM, whether they looked at it or not. I sent them a DM. I was like, hey, listen. Did
you really?
You're going to have to calm down, my brother. It's not my fault. Stop popping off. When you're playing against me,
Oh, my
stop it.
gosh.
And then I sent a couple messages to people on my fantasy team trying to motivate them and stuff. But it is what it is.
I respect that.
I'm just saying, it's dumb. And it's really dumb. And I hate fantasy sometimes. But you know what? We're coming after it.
Side
I'm the champion
note.
of this thing. It's okay.
Side note, I in one of my other leagues, it's in my family league where I'm playing. I have Hawkinson on my bench. I didn't play him last week, obviously, so I started him this week. He had less than 2, I'm pretty sure.
Ain't that crazy?
So that's
right?
insane.
Right.
I don't know.
Ain't that
I
wild?
don't think the Lions even scored a point, did they?
They didn't score at 6. They had a fat
Wow.
goose egg.
What happened, Detroit? You had all the potential in the world. It's okay. Back to the matter at hand here. I mean, give it up to the Colts defense. They really came through. Denver's defense, I mean, it was who was going to make the last stop. That's really what this game came down to. Shout out Phillip Lindsay, the former Denver Bronco running back. He got the call up from the practice squad. A lot of people had him written off. He didn't write back, apparently. He did a pretty good job. I saw him play a little bit. I mean, they combined him and Deion Johnson for over 100 rushing yards. Stephon Gilmore, Rodney Thomas, who I mentioned already. I mean, now here comes a real good test. The Colts are back at home this week. Who do they play, Joe? The Jacksonville Jaguars. A team that they just can't get over the hump, seemingly, whether it be at the end of a regular season game or, early in the season at their place. They are successful against them at home, but will they be able to do it?
I mean, a big thing is if Jonathan Taylor plays. That's a big thing, especially since, he was hurt last.
One thing, it's not if he plays, if he gets the ball.
How many touches, realistically, should Jonathan Taylor get in a game to win? Full game, what's he getting?
Bro, he needs at least 25 touches.
Runs, not passes, runs.
Oh, runs? He
From
needs
Taylor.
He needs at least 20.
Respect that answer. No,
He needs
that's a
at
good
least
number.
20, and then
At least.
This team needs
at
to be
least
balanced.
Bro, they need to treat, I know he injured right now, but they got to treat him like how the Titans treated Derrick Henry a couple years ago. Just give that man the ball and let him run through a couple people, pick up 2, 3, 4 yards. Jonathan Taylor could be the best running back in the NFL, bro. He could.
A lot of people say he already is, but he's not proving it this year.
He's definitely not. I think he had one good game this year. I can't remember.
One
I'm gonna go look
solid
at it.
game.
He had a solid game, but he's not. I don't think that the Colts are giving him the ball enough for him to prove that he's the top running back in the NFL. Because I can see from last season in the solid game he had this season, he can be the top running back in all of NFL if he just got the ball enough. 12 carries. I think he had 12 carries
It's
the game before he got
preposterous,
hurt. That is ridiculous.
Now, my question is, because, I remember watching the Hard Knocks, I believe it was last year with the Colts. And, the Colts were having a discussion.
I didn't even know they had a Hard Knocks.
They did. And it was sorry at the end of it. It started out good because the Colts were good, and then it just got sad really quick. And so, they were having a discussion about Jonathan Taylor, saying, he's a top, 4 offensive weapon in the league, honestly, if we're going to be honest. And this was after he really started popping off. And I still see that, and I feel like the Colts staff believes in this. However, there could be, because, of course, especially with sports, we only know, the media, only know what these franchises want us to know. You know what I mean? Prime example of this is, Paul George trade from a few years back. Ain't nobody know that Paul George trade was about to happen. You know what I mean? That just happened out of nowhere. And so with a lot of information and stuff, there could be rumors and stuff. But, for the most part, we don't know until
Are you talking about the Paul George trade to the Clippers or the
to the
Thunder?
Clippers.
All right, I'm about to say to the Thunder, everyone knew that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
knew that was coming.
And so
That happened at 2 a.m. I remember that.
it was insane. It was insane.
And
I love
Kawhi
it.
signed. Oh, great time.
But yeah, there could be, an injury that they are aware of that Jonathan Taylor has from the beginning of the season, and that's why he's not getting as many touches as he, is. Because again, he had this kind of persona as an Iron Man, not missing practice, and I feel like he might have just kept that up, a little too much, and probably had a nagging injury, maybe even before the offseason started, and he just, whether he refused to or he just didn't manage it well, the injury just kind of persisted, and now we're seeing the after effects right now. So I think that's what's happening, I feel like, when it comes to his touches, because, like, from a logical individual who knows football, like Frank Wright, I'm assuming you should not have one of the top running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL, not getting that as many touches as he's getting. Like, especially when Matt Ryan is your quarterback. Run the dang ball.
I'm looking at like all the attempts. He does have 81, which is it's like 5 games. That's what about. I could pull a card. I'm guessing about 16.
That's like 16
Like about
carries.
16. I'm pretty good at math, guys.
Yeah, I'm not.
Are you?
81 divided by 5.
15.2.
16.2.
Oh, number off.
But
It's okay.
I mean, I think he need. Look, if we're looking at Derrick Henry has 104 touches this season. Nick Chubb has 98. Saquon Barkley has 97. Joe Mixon has 96.
Shout out Saquon.
Man, shout out Saquon Barkley, man.
He beat the Packers.
See, you don't call me crazy for picking up Saquon. Like,
Who called you crazy?
Blake and Zach called me crazy.
He's comeback player of the year, possibly, bro.
What do you mean possibly? It's going to be him.
You're right. We can call it right now.
It could have been Michael Thomas, but he's maybe. I still have high hopes. Andy Dalton could be one. Let's get.
Barkley,
There you go.
Comeback player of the year. I'm pretty sure he's second in the league in rushing right now. Let me look.
Yeah, he's the second best rusher in the league.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Second in the league behind Nick Chubb.
Makes sense.
And it's literally by one carry. Nick Chubb has 98 carries for 593, and Saquon has 97 carries for 533. That's literally that's one big play away from being a top rusher.
That's a
in the
close
NFL right now. That is a close race. The next person is 415, which is Miles Sanders from Philadelphia.
Whoa.
And I think that was from like one game where he just went crazy.
He's really not that good.
Do y'all know?
Yeah, he's okay. I don't know about not that good. I
He's
think
on
he's
my
okay.
fantasy team. Do not play with that young man.
Sorry, Ralph.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a bad running back.
So,
He would.
Bro, he's a
Man,
fumble machine.
He had a good week before last week.
Wow, a week? Have you seen him like all season before?
Bro, he had like 11. Man, we're not gonna talk about it right now.
All right.
So, but I'm just saying, I want y'all to guess where
just speak facts.
Jonathan Taylor is rushing yards rise. Like, where do y'all think he's ranked
Right now, I think total, he's missed a game. I mean, he might be sitting at 250 if we're
he's in the bottom.
being generous. 250.
Y'all gave him 250. That was a little crazy. He had 382.
Oh, wow, that's more than I
I
thought.
lied. Sorry, 328.
Okay,
Oh, so
hey,
that's-
28 to 3. Never runs away.
is what it is. But yeah,
That's
328, 28
it
3.
keeps on pumping.
I love him, man. I love you, Matt Ryan,
Ryan.
just because
Good Lord.
I miss
He's
Matt.
like-
I miss Matt Ryan so much because I can't,
yeah. So he's tied for right now. He's tied for 15th. He's tied for 15th in the league right now.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous from a top tier running back to be 15th in the league under Khalil Herbert. No disrespect to him, but because he's
Hey,
having a good season as
doing
well.
his thing.
But come on now, we gotta get this man the ball.
Again, I think like the Colts, I think they can pull out a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, I thought about that. I thought they could pull out a win against them in what was it, week 2 or 3. They should be able to do it this time. Again, they're not playing in Jacksonville, which is a huge thing. And Jacksonville hasn't looked amazing recently. They definitely cooled down from their 24-point shutout against the Colts. So, they're playing at home, big game, big time, to really start winning these dang divisional matchups. So, again, and then after that, you want to build momentum for the Titans, who have your number as well. So, I do think that they can pull it out. I think it's going to be fairly close. I'm thinking like 24 to 17.
Okay.
Something like that. But, yeah, I think I have confidence in the Colts.
Blake, I'm so sorry.
Whoa,
That is
whoa.
so rude of me. I don't know why I thought the word Blake would come out of my mouth. Joe, if you remember a few weeks ago, we had a special guest, Gabe the Hash Brown. Do you remember what Gabe said Rex Burkhead top 10?
Yeah. I remember that.
Can any of you just guess?
about that.
Can any of you guess how many carries this man, or not carries, how many rushing yards Rex Burkhead has through 5 games? I'll give you the amount of carries.
I don't even.
20.
20. I'm thinking like 180, maybe. Maybe 200.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Whoa, that's like 9 yards a carry, bro.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Over 20.
Yeah,
over
he only has
20?
20
my bad,
carries.
my bad. Yeah,
I was
I'm
like,
thinking-
whoa.
Yeah, I mean top 10. Hey,
Super
listen,
generous.
you got it. Yeah, but I'm thinking like
He probably got.
one.
I don't even give him 1. I'd give him like 97, bro.
97.
Bro,
Damian
You guys
Pierce.
are
I forgot
so
about
wrong.
Damian Pierce. What is it? How much is he?
64 rushing yards
Oh
for my man Rex Burkhead top 10. Hey,
Bro,
we
I
are
gave
Rex
him-
Burkhead stands here.
Hey, that's facts. I mean, like, hey, I'll support my man.
Absolutely. Gabe put me on, and now I got a ride. I strapped him on to my back. Now we off.
I hate how this is a thing, by the way.
Me too.
Rex
I just
Burkhead.
really I was very interested, so I had to look it up. So
Fair.
he literally had 3 rushes for 15 yards last.
reel this one back in. Matter of fact, the Colts, despite the awful play, offense, both defenses did their thing.
And they still pulled out the dub.
Yeah. The Denver
At the end of the
Broncos.
day, the win is a win.
The Denver Broncos have a matchup next Monday night against the LA Chargers on the road, and the Colts and the Jags for a 1 o'clock kickoff at Lucas Oil Stadium this Sunday. Please go support your Indianapolis Colts. Before we get out of here, for the Indiana Pacer preview, I would just like to add that Matt Ryan and I, we go way back. And I hope, honestly, as a native Indiana, person who lives in the state of Indiana, I want to see the Colts do good, but not Matt Ryan. If that makes sense.
Very fair.
Absolutely. So we're gonna take a break on the radio side. Shout out my Twitch viewers. I see you over there. We had a few, so I respect it. So we'll be right back, and then we'll get into the best thing that you can hear today. Pacer talk between me, Joe, and Ralph. You're listening to Z90.7 WZIS.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Welcome back to your favorite sports talk show, Sports Extra, hosted by me, Coby Clark, and over there we got Joe Moore, and special guest today, Ralph Council. Ralph, tell me, how have you enjoyed your first partake in some Sports Extra here on Monday?
You know, it's always a good time when you get to just sit down and talk about sports, first of all.
Facts.
So, especially with good friends like
Facts.
my boy Coby and my boy Joe, you know, we just vibing. It ain't even like we doing a talk show right now. It's just like talking with the guys, you know.
Exactly. We just got to be watching what we saying. That's all we got to worry about, you know?
Exactly.
Worry about,
And
upsetting.
y'all risking it talking about this fantasy. Some might slip up now.
Bro, you might be slipping up now.
He almost,
We got
he
some
almost-
Pacer talk.
He almost slipped up at Ricky Burkhead. Rex.
Rex Burkhead. Top 10, baby.
You testing me. You testing me.
Tanner's better than you. But anyway, let's get into this Indiana Pacer preview. We've all been wanting it. We're going to get to it. The Pacer season, for as long as we can remember, they've always been right there. They've always been like the 4 seed, a high seed. That one year where Paul George was hurt, they didn't make the playoffs. But that was like the last time they didn't make the playoffs before last season. The Indiana Pacers have finally embraced the tank job. They are in rebuilding mode 100%. They are going through the young stars and a few, key veterans that we have on the team. But we are straight going down with the ship, and I'm first in line with them. I want to be there with it. I want some Victor, how do you pronounce it? Wembanyama at the end of it.
Say that one more time.
Victor Wembanyama. I forget. Can you say it for me?
Victor Wembanyama.
Say it one more time.
Victor Wembanyama.
Wabanyama. Whoa. Wabanyama.
Whoa, Wabanana. Yes.
Say it again.
Wild banana.
Wabenyama.
Wambenyama.
There you go.
I want some Victor Wambenyama at the end of this tunnel that we are on for the tanking train.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it because like Scoot Henderson, he is a good player, but we do not need another guard.
No,
we got our guard for the future and Tyrese. We got our backcourt for the future.
Facts.
I could say with Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin.
That's what I was gonna. I'm gonna preview every player on this Pacer team, and I want to see what our thoughts are individually.
Oh, I love this.
We're going to individually dissect them going from lowest number to higher number. And then we're going to talk about the team as a whole, where we see this team going in the trade deadline at the end of the year. And you know what it means. So here we go. We're going to start with my man, 00 himself, the potential future rookie of the year from Arizona, Benedict Mathurin. Joe, I'll start with you.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on my man, Ben?
Benedict Mathurin has that dog. It really, for me, when it comes to a prospect in like the NBA, especially when you're a young player, it's really mentality that does it over anything. And we saw that in Arizona where he had that mentality, he had that dog. What Rick Carlisle said when he first got on the phone with Benedict Mathurin right after he drafted him, he said, "Listen, we drafting you because we need a dog in the locker room. We need somebody who's going to push the tempo and push this team to have a mentality of winning basketball eventually going forward. And that person who has that competitive nature and stuff." It really irks me to say this, but Benedict Mathurin reminds me of Jimmy Butler.
That's such a good comparison, especially
from
you.
I can definitely see that. He has.
That's
I can
crazy.
See that kind of dog. Jimmy Butler's a different kind of dog.
I can't believe you said that, Joe.
And it brings pain to me.
You shouldn't.
Yet so much joy, yet so much pain.
He's so good, though.
But like, yeah, but that's a good comparison to have. Like somebody who can really get in there, who's might not be able to like shoot the best, but like athletically, like he has that one trait that's attached to like many prospects, that sneaky athleticism. And he might not look like it, but he will boom on you. Like I want to use some other words that I'm not allowed to use on there, but he will boom on you. Man.
Oh, he will do the dirtiest of stuff this season.
Because people don't see him as that, but like trust me, he will get after you for sure. And so like I'm really high on him. I'm not sure rookie of the year, but I'm expecting like
who knows
if I can get like 11, 12 points, sprinkle in a few assists there and like pretty solid defense. That is, I would say that's a good rookie season from the Benedict Mathurin.
Absolutely. Joe, I appreciate that take from you. Very, very good take.
I had that like in my stomach.
No, I needed to hear it. I wanted you to get it out. Ralph, what do you got here?
I think as a taking season, I want to see him get at least 15 points a game. I want him to get a lot of minutes because one, we take this tank and we build Benedict Mathurin. We build him up. We get him at least 10 to 15 shots a game just to build up his confidence in the NBA, just to know I can go out here and I have pretty much the green light to shoot what I want at this point right now as a rookie, just to give him that confidence for the second year while also tanking. I think that would probably be the best thing for the Pacers to do right now.
Okay, I disagree because one, naturally I'm a pessimistic person, so like obviously the bar is just going to be low, just straight up, because you have to remember they are rookies. But I see what you're saying. I would love for him to average 15, 16 points per game. However, I would prefer him not to have this green light because, especially with a developing player, especially when you have a point guard like Tyrese Halliburton, who's going to feed you the ball, you're going to be a better player with Tyrese Halliburton on your team and being in your backcourt. I want him to learn the flow of the game, especially with when you're like a young small forward wing player who's, expected to be probably a high volume scorer, type of slasher type build. You definitely want to understand the feel of the game before you like shot chuck and maybe you average 15, 16 points, but it's on like 31% efficiency. But yes.
I respect that. No, man.
I definitely respect that.
I mean, I'm not going to give the keys to a rookie, especially when we have other names on this list. But Benedict Mathurin, he's in the driver's. He's not in the driver's seat, but he's in shotgun. You know what I mean? He's in the car, but I mean, he's not driving the car.
He's definitely in the car.
He's not. Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, man, if he gets out of the
seatbelt on the side,
he's chilling.
We know who got the keys to the car, though. We know Probably
Tyrese.
the next guy we're talking about. That's who has
Yeah.
the keys to this car right here.
Absolutely. One more thing I want to add about Mathurin before we get into my man Tyrese, though. I love the pickup. Sure, I will say this. I was very high on Jaden Ivey. Unfortunately, he did not fall to number 6. We really did not get a lucky hand in the NBA lottery. But, when do the Pacers ever really get an opportunity like this?
Luck, period. So,
Exactly. So
It could have been worse. Could have been much worse.
I love the pick. I think we got the best player at the best position, the best value. Benedict Mathurin. Love the name. I love his look. I love his play style. I love what he does. I've already seen him out in Indy, doing a lot of charity stuff. And he's just a great dude. And he has so much potential for this squad coming up. And I'm going to be so happy. I might have to order a jersey. Put it in. NBAshop.com. But now.
Not a sponsor.
Not at all. Absolutely. But here we are. Going over next to the man who is in the driving position in that very nice Pacer car. Get it? Pacers, driving. Yeah. Indy 500. Oh. Benedict Mathurin is next to this man, Tyrese Halliburton. Got this man from a mid-season trade with the Sacramento Kings, where a lot of teams didn't even know this man was up for grabs. No one had a
Tyrese
single
Halliburton didn't
idea
even know he was
that
up for
this man
grabs.
was up for trade. They were a little shocked. Everyone, players, fans, medias alike, were woed by the fact Halliburton was traded. Not just traded, but for what they got back. We fleeced the Sacramento Kings. I mean, sure, we missed Demonis Sabonis. I really like Sabonis, but at the same time, we were never going to win with him here.
Yeah, we wasn't.
Tyrese Halliburton is the guy for the future of this Indiana squad. Whoever wants to start, I want to hear it.
Can I just real quick?
Joe, no, you can take the floor.
I love my man. I love this team.
Oh, me too.
Man, there's not a lot of causes that I'll live and die for, right? First it will go God. Second, it will probably be my mama.
I respect those
Third,
answers.
it would be Tyrese Halliburton. Because Tyrese Halliburton is that dude. Like, everything else can go to the side. Don't look at me like that. I mean what I said.
Not your lady?
Tyrese Halliburton. Listen,
You putting Tyrese Halliburton over your
we've been together for a few months. This has been my team
wait.
since I was a child. Okay, no, we gonna keep
You
it.
should have
above.
said Pacers, not just Halliburton.
No. Pacers in general. Halliburton.
I
got
understand.
the keys to the castle.
He meant Halliburton.
Shout out my lady.
I respect that. I respect it.
But it is what it is. Like, Tyrese Halliburton, the fact that we got him, and again, I'll live and die by Kevin Pritchard. I feel like he is one of the most slept on, one of the greatest GMs that's currently
Easily
in the NBA. And you have to remember, it's like, oh, he hasn't won a championship. Oh, he hasn't done this. You have to understand what he's worked with and the type of trades that he has constructed throughout his time with the Pacers. Like, he is that, like, if you put Kevin Pritchard in the office of a big market team, they would have at least 2 championships in the exact same tenure that he had with the Pacers.
Yeah, I'd hate to break it to you guys, but we're not New York or Los Angeles.
We're not that big.
Yeah,
We're not a big market team.
Not at all.
The type of trades that Kevin Pritchard has put together, plus the free agency appeal of a big market, that's a good team. That's just a good team. It's just straight up as it is. But yeah, back to Tyrese Halliburton. That trade was amazing. I screamed when I saw it. I screamed after I saw it, and I scream to this day about it. Because, shout out Domas, miss you, man. Best of luck in Kings, but really good player and stuff. But yeah,
It makes me shake.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, Tyrese Halliburton, really good player, really young, great distributor, great with the ball, floor general, can, score very efficiently, even though he does struggle with aggressiveness and assertiveness on occasion. But that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to a person of good class. As good as Tyrese Halliburton, he is, I believe, in Vegas, the front runner for most improved player. But yeah, he should have a really good year. I'm excited to see more of him.
Great take, Joe. Ralph, what is your
Honestly,
spill?
I am really excited. When I seen the trade, I was so happy because I was just looking at because right before we traded for him, I was telling my pops, I was like, man, if we can get a young guard like Tyrese Halliburton to come to this team, somebody who I feel like he can be a future 20-10 guy, maybe even 20-12.
He's more than that.
I mean, definitely more, but and he does play defense. He averaged 1.8 steals a game. Well, altogether, he averaged 1.6 steals a game last season. But just just seeing the kind of player he is and how he's already trying to lead the Pacers just from the first year. I'm just so excited to see what he can do in the future, especially with Benedict Mathurin. Like, that's going to be a really good backcourt for the future. Shoot, if we pull this tank off, we get Wembanyama, it's going to be really scary.
I would hope that would happen one day. We need the best Victor in basketball, not Oladipo, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
We need Victor
Wembanyama.
There we go. I'm going to learn it.
Yeah, and then just a little, obviously you run it and stuff, and you're doing a great job. Given the time, let's, get to just like the starters or whatever, or just key players, and then go directly to more of a, season expectation. For
Absolutely.
The Pacers, if that's okay.
I was actually going to get to that point where, I was going to talk about I just really wanted to focus on the main guys.
For sure.
I mean, we were going to skim over. I mean, shout out to my man, Andrew Nembhard. He's a rookie, won't get a whole lot of playing time. He'll be in the G League. He's got some potential, I'll say.
I feel like he could be a decent backup point.
For sure.
Fair.
Chris Duarte, another man. He's in the back seat right now. Mm-hmm. I mean,
he's in the car, but he's
cruising. He's chilling,
cruising. Like he was our first round pick. He's kind of an older guy.
For sure.
To be drafted. What is he, about 23, 24? He was like 23 when he got drafted, but he still has so much potential.
I absolutely have to agree with you, bro. Mm-hmm. I do like Duarte, but the thing is, he's 25 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So a lot of people have a little discretion towards that.
He's an older, but I think he still hasn't hit. Obviously, he still hasn't hit his prime yet. But everybody's journey to the league is different.
He's a late bloomer,
for sure.
For sure.
I think
as a rookie, he averaged 13.1 points.
Mm-hmm. Solid.
4 rebounds and 2 assists and a steal.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Dare I say the Pacers might be making a defensive team. Dare I say?
I hope so, and I love so. Again, defense wins championships. Shout out Greg Popovich. But with Chris Duarte specifically, I think that he's going to be a pretty solid piece going forward when it comes to being a consistent kind of leveling off. You got to watch out for him. You know what I mean? If you're a defense, you have to watch out for him. But I don't think he's going to be this guy who, is going to be the staple. But he's going to be a very instrumental piece for a winning Pacers team going
Absolutely.
forward. Shout out to him. Love this man. Keep it pushing, my Dominican brother.
Absolutely.
I would say it like this. I feel like he has potential to be one of the best role players in the NBA.
I agree.
Come off the bench.
I think he deserves it.
Come off the bench about 12, 13 a game. Play good defense, 3-and-D. Give us a couple 2 to 3 3-pointers a game. He's athletic. Give us a nice dunk, a couple blocks. Rally the team, get the team hype. I feel like that's the kind of guy we have right there.
Agreed. Just let's skim through the rest of the players real quick. TJ McConnell, great leader. Happy he's back. Hopefully he stays healthy. He's a great mentor for Tyrese, Benedict, and Duarte. I think he's going to do a great job in his role there. Kendall Brown, another rookie. I mean, he'll be sent to the G League. A couple veterans. We got Langston Galloway and James Johnson. I'm going to keep it a buck. They're probably not going to be on the team come the mid-season trade deadline, so we'll see how long that goes for. O'Shea Brissett, really love what he's got to bring. I mean, he's just got to work on a few things, and he could be a solid backup for this squad. Same thing could be said about Terry Taylor. He's young. Isaiah Jackson, I'm hoping something comes up from him this season. I want to see him take that next step.
Yeah, he's really nice. He's really
Absolutely.
nice. I really like him. He's the first lob threat for the Pacers in forever.
Somebody I want to try to keep y'all eye on is Jalen Smith.
Absolutely.
That dude we got from Phoenix. I think when he was in Phoenix, he was playing behind DeAndre, and he didn't really get a lot of minutes. Now he's here in Indiana. He's going to get some run. He's definitely going to get some burn. He's going to get some time. I feel like he's going to be I'm pretty sure he was a lottery pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Number 10 overall.
Exactly.
Which is mind-blowing.
He was a number 10 overall pick. He just got drafted to the wrong team.
Yes.
I feel like him coming here, he can definitely become
And he already proved that.
Exactly.
Nice.
He's definitely had some good games last season. He definitely showed, sparks or however you want. Flashes.
Yeah, there you go.
I agree.
I mean, one dude there's 2 more people I really want to talk about. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I don't know if Buddy Hield's going to be here. I mean, I like Buddy, but he just doesn't fit the schedule for this team right now. I mean, if you were to give me Buddy Hield a few years ago, I would love that. If you give me Buddy Hield maybe 3-4 years later, right now, Buddy Hield's just kind of doing his thing, playing basketball. He'll be acquired somewhere this season.
What's the Pacers GM name?
Kevin Pritchard.
Kevin Pritchard?
Yeah.
Kevin Pritchard, go ahead and talk to the Lakers. We need a shooter over there. You know, holler at LeBron.
All righty, we're
you know what I'm
not doing
saying?
this scouting report.
No. I'm kind of with it. I like he's speaking so fast right now.
If we can get their
like,
2027
we need
and 29 first round picks, take them.
take him. Take him.
Take 'em. They're not gonna be good then.
Drive to your house and kick you in the face.
Absolutely.
Man.
Hey, you know, we need a shooter.
Last
I
person.
love Russ, but if he doesn't show me nothing by trade deadline, I'd love to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just hit me. I'll get in touch with Brian or something. We'll figure something
No,
out.
because you got the connections. All right.
Ralph just like that.
Ralph's that guy. Last person I want to talk about before we get to the team and get out of here, Miles Turner. A lot of question marks on this man. I mean, he's been through the ringer a lot. I mean, he's been through the ups and downs of this squad. He's been through the trade market. He's been through all these question marks surrounding him as a future Pacer. Still somewhat here. Longest tenured Pacer, and I don't know how long. He's been here for 7 or 8 years.
Yes, I think on a selfish note, I really hope that he stays. And from a selfish note and a basketball perspective, because I feel like Miles Turner is that type of veteran that you want to have in a rebuilding team. That person who knows the organization, that knows what it likes to play in the league, knows what it's like to play in playoff games, games that matter against great players, and most importantly to me, defensive-minded. So, like, I feel like that type of – he's not really a vocal leader, but I feel as a pillar to, like, a roster, he is extremely important.
Facts.
So, like, you know, I really hope he does stay. If he goes, it is what it is. I kind of feel bad for Miles Turner mainly because it feels like he's had one bag at the door for his entire time.
It's crazy.
But, like, he's still here, and I hope he stays here, honestly.
I think he should. I want to see what him and Benedict and Tyrese can bring.
Honestly, I love Miles Turner. Just a defense-minded center. He ain't scared to jump with nobody. He's going to jump at everything. He's trying to send your side to row G, seat number 9 every time. Every time you bring it down the lane. You just got to love a big man like
Seeing
that.
him
a
in
big
person
man that's
is
going to be a big man.
Miles Turner, I mean, if you go soon, if you stay, we're going to love you either way.
We're going to love you either way, man. Love you, bro.
Respect. Last thing here before we get on out of here today, the Indiana Pacers schedule. I mean, they start out the season on October 19th at 7 p.m. It's on a Wednesday. Maybe we do some sort of watch party here at the station. I don't know.
Say that now. I'm with it.
We might do it. They got the Washington Wizards. I mean, not a good team, really. Don't start with me.
Let's be to
They
start
got
the
Beal, that's
season.
it.
They got a nice little schedule. They got a nice little warm up to start the season with the Wizards, then the Spurs, who just traded their best player Dejounte Murray, and also the Pistons. And we know what the Pistons.
That's a quick
do.
3-0, honestly. And we don't really want them to win,
that.
but they could go for it.
We don't want those.
We just want to see. We want the losses, but we want to see our team succeed player individually.
You know what? You know what the funny thing is? The Wizards, Spurs, and Pistons, they all probably trying to tank too.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
It's hilarious.
These first 3 games is gonna be hilarious.
It's gonna be.
It's literally
my
gonna be
eyes,
like
my
85,
brain.
80.
They gonna mess around, and give me a 10-day, and then throw me out there just so we can lose. Like, man, I'll be with
Good
it.
luck.
Hey,
Give me that
man,
couple
give
$100,000. I'm
give
good.
me a couple $100,000. And I'll go a fresh 5 for 25.
Man, I'll punch the ref in the
Absolutely.
face.
1 from
Oh,
11
man.
from 3.
Bro, I've
6
seen you play,
turnovers,
Ralph.
2
I've seen you
assists.
play, Joe. You both. I remember that explosion that you guys had when you collided.
Man,
That was
We
awesome.
be out here, man. I'm telling you.
I'm out here crossing Christian up, shooting threes in his face.
Miss you, Christian.
Miss you too. Wait, I'm not Christian. I thought you said Kobe.
miss you too.
Oh no, I miss
I was like, why do you miss me? I'm right here. We miss you, Christian. Come back. Come visit us for God's sake, please. We want to see you soon. Boys, I mean, I'm excited for this Pacer team. I want Benedict to make the Rookie of the Year team. I want Halliburton to make it maybe his first ever All-Star game. I want Miles Turner for Depoy of the Year. He's so capable. All of these players I just listed off are capable of doing so much for this squad. But selfishly, I want them to lose.
Yes, please lose. Please, for the love of God, lose.
Absolutely.
Hashtag tank for Victor.
Hashtag tank for Victor, not Oladipo. We don't talk about him anymore. Exactly. Let me hear you guys' last thoughts. Any more things you want to get out of here before we simmer down and go home for the night?
Appreciate y'all having me on the show. It was good chilling with my guys, having good sports conversations, you know.
Absolutely, Ralph. We hope to have you back on here soon. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. Joe, I already know what you're going to say. I'm going to say it with you on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Paces. That's all I got to say. Go Paces. Who dat? We out of here. Everyone, whether you watched us on a Twitch or you're listening to us on the radio station, take care. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow all of the social medias at WZIS-FM and continue to follow and watch us on a weekly basis. There's a lot of good things going around this station right now. If you're ever wanting to get involved in student media, right here, room 323, 3rd floor, Dreiser Hall. We'd love to see you. Love to see what we can do with you. From my man Joe, from my man Ralph, go Paces. I'm Ben Coby Clark. See y'all later. Be safe.